Going.
Welcome back to the BEWA Roundtable Old Head Edition. I'm old. We're going to talk about you can't talk about the beginning of the BEWA fairly without talking about the end of MUW.
Ooh, yeah.
And everybody in this room was involved in one way or another. Countless more were as well. It should be stated that even throughout all of this, nobody looked at Craven and said, "You're a bad person," or anything like that. But at the same time, there was words put into people's mouths, and a situation occurred, and a world champion got fired, and all this other good stuff. So why don't you tell us your opinion on that whole time period, the transition, if you will?
I mean, I remember, the argument at the dinner table and all that kind of stuff, but I just got done getting my ass whooped by my franchise, and he beat me up pretty good, and I was just kind of at the end of the table not really listening, but the end result was there was a split, and I was, at the time, I had just won the MUW World title at Resurrection, which was the big show before this Rampage had happened. And, I guess Craven thought blood, ran thicker than water, and I guess he assumed that I was just automatically going to jump ship to BEWA, and I guess he fired me.
Actually, well, this is DT talking, but I actually have a.
Who are you?
Well,
Hold
yes.
the camera for you for a minute.
Yes.
This is important.
All right. Well, when I joined MUW, it was like right before that Fed broke apart.
Team Orange Crush.
No,
It's gonna make you run laps after this match.
Yeah. Basically, I mean, I guess to shorten it up, Jacob, Ronald, Jordan, myself, Ray, we had all joined around the same time. Oh, Marcus Ruin too. He also wrestled out. He also wrestled there for a little while.
Makes you think of Mandy Light.
One show.
Like one show. But anyways,
And Ray did too.
so I would say for us when we showed up, we were just really impressed with the whole setup. We thought it was
Structure.
great, the structure and everything. It was great because other feds we've been in were very disorganized. But I remember that day when MUW, the last MUW show. I remember seeing, I was in the back and I saw Talia and Craven. They were talking about something, and Talia even asked me if she thought everything was going on great in MUW. I'm like, this is excellent. In other feds, I mean, it's like other feds have been treated like dirt. I mean, Jacob and I, we could both tell you all the hell that we've gone through in other places. So MUW, we were like, this is heaven. We don't see anything wrong. But she did say some things about there may be some managerial changes or things like that. So I was thinking, oh boy, this is not going to be good. and then I think it was like 2 days later, I get like the phone call and I hear that MUW just split up, and I'm like, wow. And then Craven actually went to Jacob's and see Jacob and Ray working at the spice plant together at one point, and actually talked to them. He actually went to their jobs to try to see if we can go wrestle with them, and so we ended up going to Riggs' house, and we were talking, and actually they're talking about you, Joel. They were actually talking about they weren't sure where you were going to go, and in fact they even said because they actually did think about actually trying to call you up and see if you would be willing to come back to MUW. So it wasn't like they just totally just threw you under the bus, but at the same time, I don't think they actually contacted you and said they were going to do it. But at least I'm just saying there was at least that conversation. So that conversation at least took place. But it was
I think somebody wanted to make sure the world title was free to hand to Jacob. That's just my 2 cents. Go on.
That could be it too, but it was. I'm saying it could very well be. But I'm just saying it was. But needless to say, that whole transitional period was just really strange for us because we were just thinking that everything was good, and then all of a sudden it just falls apart. All of a sudden, then we're in MEW, and MEW worked. It was okay for when it's at the start because it was nice seeing Jacob finally having a world title and other people getting a title after all the stuff we had gone through in the past, and finally people were recognizing the talent we had. But then, of course, we ended up in OXW, wrestling Odenton, which was an experience in itself. And then eventually made the transition to BEWA, and we're happier than for it.
All right, man. Thanks. Here you go. An outsider's perspective. One thing I've never done in 4 years, and to this day, is I've never recruited. I've never asked somebody, "Hey, would you like to join the BEWA?" So I kind of saw where people were going. The majority was going to come with me, and Craven kept the Juggalos and the Takeover for the most part. But
Yeah.
I'm glad that you guys got to stay over MUW because I wanted you to see it wasn't the same after the majority of us had left. Mr. Matt was one of the people that words were put in his mouth. Matt is too cold to wrestle this time of year, that kind of thing. How did you take the MUW falling out and beginning of BWA, that kind of thing?
Well, from the day we had that show, Craven and Talia were talking to, it was myself, I think you were there, right?
Yes.
Dreamer, and it was Thomas. And they were asking us, do we think it's cold or whatnot? And
We'll figure it out for us.
yeah,
We'll fucking figure it.
yeah, the original.
Yeah.
Anyway, and
For
it was it too cold or this and that. And I understand. And Stacy, she was pregnant at the time, but damn it, she was there every single show, whether it was raining or freezing. And she's pregnant, and she never complained once.
She's pregnant?
I won't. Yes.
I think she was with a child.
Yes, but I want to throw that out there.
I know.
And Chris, you noticed because you even said something about that she never complained once about it being cold or anything. But I wasn't there for the famous Last Supper. I just remember getting a phone call. I don't know, 8, 9 o'clock at night, and I'm like, we wrestled today, but why is Chris calling me? What the fuck's
A little early for the cards.
Yeah, I was like, a little early for the card. All right, what's up? I answered the phone. I'm like, hello, and then with a serious ass voice, Matt. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, what? He's like, you got a minute? I gotta talk to you. He's like, all right, what's up? Did you tell Craven it was too cold to wrestle? No, I never said that. Craven said I did.
Dang.
He's in the moment, man. It's still that night to him.
You understand? That's right.
It's not cold.
It's not about that. I never said that. And then I was asked if Thomas had said that. Thomas never said it. You're talking about, I wrestle in the fucking snow. Why the fuck would it be so cold to wrestle on fucking grass?
It's still real to me, damn it! He's never had a chance to let it out.
Let it out, bro.
Matt don't get on these shows too often.
No, I don't get on these shows. But I'm here, bitches! But, no, I mean, and
Don't hold it, don't hold
Thomas isn't here to confirm this, but when we had, I don't know, snow like to here, we're fucking wrestling out in it. I mean, I wrestled in snow. It could be 2 feet of snow out there. We're fucking wrestling.
Would you wrestle in snow?
Yes, I would, my friend. Even go sleigh riding. But the point is, shit was said that I said, and that's what blew my mind. And that night I was like, ain't happening. What are we going to do about it? And I was like, well, we're having a meeting to figure that out. I'm like, you let me know what the deal is. Got a phone call. Hey, people are meeting over at my house. We're going to discuss shit. I'm there. Boom!
Damn.
BWA.
Kind of
EWA was officially born. Somebody, not saying who, said, hey Chris, I think EWA's a
I'm an idiot. I heard of them, but for some reason it just...
So we went from that to the BEWA, but yeah,
I crudely drew a B in front of the logo.
it's just, I don't like having somebody say that I did or said shit.
That's the worst part.
I didn't fucking do. And that's what got me. Most of all, if this split happened and they didn't say that, God knows where I'd be. I'd still be here. But God knows where the fuck I'd be. But the point is, that's what blew my mind. And it's when I got in touch with Thomas, I said, Thomas, you got a second? He's like, yeah, what's up, homie? Craven be lying. He's like, what do you mean? He told Chris that we said it was freezing and too cold to be wrestling right now.
You don't talk that black.
And then Thomas goes, he did what? No! I'm like, yeah, he did, man. And then I think I called Chris on, and I had Chris on speaker, and I had Thomas with me. I was like, Chris, Thomas is right here. Tell him what you told me. And Thomas was like, I'll be playing these games, man.
That came up during that dinner, right? And that what part
Yeah,
of what
that
y'all
was
was
Taylor's
talking about?
evidence.
Yeah.
Because you gotta understand, at this table at the Golden Corral or Old Country Buffet, wherever the fuck we were, I was across the table getting my fucking snack on. Talia is here and Craven's there, and Ed actually spoke a lot up at this thing, telling Craven, because Talia looked in my face and said, "This is Chris's Fed. We'll start in the spring when we're ready." And at that point, I was like, "Oh, it's his Fed?" I'm the owner of the BEWA. I pretty much run a lot of shit. I still don't feel like it's my Fed, you know. And if it ever becomes like that, then I can be replaced. Yeah. But before we get off on a tangent, Dan, why don't you tell us how you felt about the split and kind of where you were, because you were relatively new in general, and
Yeah.
Craven didn't come to your work.
No, it was just kind of odd because when I started, it was right before, because I have an October break, and I didn't really work very many shows, and it was fun, and I was just kind of like really starting to feel comfortable with everything. And then the four of us were talking, and Talia came over, and she was the one talking about, was it too cold? And we were all like, no, we're fine, whatever. Because I even said, like, I play football. I've played football almost my entire life. I'm used to playing in cold and everything. It doesn't bother me at all. So I wasn't really that worried about it. And then I found out that I had said it was too cold, and I was like, well, I don't even know these motherfuckers. I was like, so, I mean, I think that was probably the first conversation I had ever had with her, actually.
Yeah,
But that's really, that's not, at this point, it's neither here nor there. I just remember getting a phone call, and I didn't really know Chris all that well, and he was like, hey, I just want you to know MEW's closed. And I was like, oh, all right, and I just figured, you know what, it was cool. I'll just, kind of get on with my life, and I'll just find something else that's stupid to do. And and he was like, yeah, but then we're meeting at my house in like a week or whatever it was. And so I was like, all right, so I'll go. And my best memory of that initial meeting night was the party clown defection.
Little promo that we shot in character, out of character.
which was absolutely fantastic. My talents were not put on full display.
There was a man in the front row.
I need a place to grow.
Like Craven.
I'm a very serious performer.
Yeah, man.
I need to plant my roots somewhere. But I was pretty much stunned. Like I said, I hadn't even been there that long. So it was just odd, but I mean, something good came of it.
Yeah, I think.
Alright, man, we're going to take one more break. When we get back, we're going to ask each other random fucking questions and try to put ourselves on the spot.
Alright.
You know what's funny?